Alright, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can actually increase your sales by predicting buyer behaviors, and we're going to use ChatGPT in order to achieve this. First things first, if you would like to learn more tips and tricks around AI sales, marketing, and all of that, go ahead and join our Skool group, skool.com/AI sales. And if you like this kind of content, go ahead and follow me on LinkedIn. I post content on there all the time around AI, marketing, sales, automation, stuff like that. Also on YouTube. So, in this video, I'm going to copy this really long prompt that you guys don't have to memorize. You can literally download this in wherever you're watching this from. If it's on LinkedIn, probably you're going to have to head into the Skool group. If you're on YouTube or whatever, you're probably going to have to get into the Skool group to be able to download this Google Sheet. It'll be attached inside of the Skool group, and I'll show you here in just a second. Um, Actually, let's start there. When you are in the Skool group, when you join, you just click here. Around here, it should say something like join. So you hit join. Then you go to classroom, and then community gifts. In the scenario, it would be here. And then right here, you'll see this new training that I'm recording right now, which will be predict buyer behaviors to increase your sales. All right, so now that you know how to find the prompts, and now that you know how to claim the prompts, you're going to go ahead and copy this entire prompt, put it into ChatGPT, and the only thing you need to change is this right here. So the only thing you change is this thing in red. So we're going to find that it's towards the top. My offer is, insert whatever your offer is. My offer is AI consulting, teaching people how to implement AI systems and automations into their organizations. Typical client is an SMB with less than 100 employees, as an example, right? And my rates start at, I don't know, $15,000 a month, right? Something like this. So in this scenario, here you can, of course, create and include as much information as you want. But what this is doing is it's actually creating, I should say one more thing. We're going to use 4o-preview for this one. So let me go ahead and start that over. 4o-preview, copy that. Alrighty, so in 4o-preview, as you can see here, this is pretty cool because it's going through all these processes here, but you're going to see that it's night and day difference than the regular 4 and the regular ChatGPT 3.5 that we've all known and used for the past few months. So here, I'm going to give it a second to load, and I'm going to share with you how in depth this goes. So as you can see here, it's creating a very detailed, very well thought out ICP analysis. It is super in depth. And as you can see, we have the demographics, we have the psychographics, right? Pain points, goals, values, all that. Behavioral patterns, technology adoption, revenue contribution, where they're spending their money in and what segments, challenges that they're having as an industry. Take the engagement metrics with a grain of salt. Now here it has industries with highest predictive indicators, so probably the higher industries to get involved in. And as you can see, it just goes very in depth, how to reach out to people, etc. Very in depth. And it doesn't stop here. What is this? Prioritization of ranking of, and then it's ranking here which ones are going to be the highest revenue potentials. Forgot I included that part. Okie dokie. So let's see here. This is actionable insights, focus areas, okay, and immediate applications. Cool. Well, let's move on. Let's grab the second prompt. There's like 7 prompts total, I believe. What are the typical pain points? And we're going to pretend to use LinkedIn for this one. If you're using Facebook, YouTube, whatever, that's all good. Just change LinkedIn. But I'm just going to use LinkedIn. I use LinkedIn as my main platform. So here it says, the prompt says, what are their typical pain points that I can identify from their LinkedIn or digital presence? So if I am scrolling through their LinkedIn profiles, what are the signs or symptoms that I can see from their profiles that are going to indicate that they're going through a pain point? And here it gives me some ideas, and that's what this is doing, right? So job postings, maybe they're posting way too many jobs, way too many roles, whatever the case might be. So it's helping you analyze what kind of behavioral patterns or clues they're giving you on their social profiles to see if there is an opening or a gap, and maybe they've never even thought about your solution. Now, the next one is all about creating some sort of lead magnet that they're going to find value in. So the prompt says, use causal AI. What are some lead magnets I can create that are relevant to my ideal client profile, ICP, and rank on a scale of 1 to 10 for highest driver for conversion? Remember, we live in a digital age where there's a lot of competitors and social media influencers. It's easy for people to feel very busy, and we're fighting against their attention span, so avoid long winded lead magnets like ebooks. So now it's going to give me some tools or some things, right? The interactive readiness tool, personalized AI implementation roadmap. It tells you all these things. Live webinar. It also tells you like how to create it, how to implement it, all of that. Um, and then it gives you some additional things. But maybe you want like uh maybe you want to know, okay, maybe you want something a little bit more interesting, right? So you say generate 5. Let me type this out 1 second. I just added this prompt in 5 bullet points. Generate actionable lead magnets that can't be consumed in less than 5 to 10 minutes and deliver quick wins. So that's going to give me a few more. Now, the thing with lead magnets is you don't want to overwhelm people. You want to give something that they can consume very quickly, take an action, give them that satisfaction that they're making some progress, and also create that feeling of, okay, I just got a piece of this. How can I get the whole thing? Right? So that's what a lead magnet should be. It shouldn't be giving away the whole farm. It shouldn't be giving away useless or boring information. It should literally just be something that they can consume really, really quick, right? And they can just take action. So think about it from that perspective. Now, the next question is, what does my ICP, my ideal client profile, look like on social media? So we already know who they are to a very detailed extent. That was the first prompt. Second prompt was about understanding what are the possible signs, symptoms, red flags, whatever, clues that they're leaving on their social profiles that they might need help. 3 was how to create a lead magnet so we can actually reach out to them and break the ice. And now 4 is, what does my ICP look like? What does my ideal client profile look like on social media? Which is, what positions do they have? What roles? Maybe they have certain characteristics, right? Like for example, maybe they're tech savvy, right? And you can see this because they're usually talking or posting or interacting with other people around certain topics. Here it gives you like company profiles, company sizes, content they currently share and engage with. So even if they're not sharing, you'll probably find them engaging with other people posting these types of content pieces. Maybe there's other groups. Now, these are probably hallucinations. These are probably not real groups. So obviously take that with a grain of salt. Same with podcasts. If it ever like recommends podcasts or anything like that or books, they might be just completely fake. So you still have to do your research, but it's just giving you the idea that you could look into LinkedIn groups, into Facebook groups, um, whatever the case is. And then engagement levels, right? Maybe they're not posting daily. Maybe they're posting or sharing content or reposting weekly, bi-weekly, monthly even, right? A lot of the times people, I think the statistic is like 97% of people on LinkedIn don't post. They're just lurking, right? So just because they don't post doesn't mean that they're not an ICP or an ideal client or a potential client. Um, so let's see, keywords and hashtags used, popular hashtags. Again, take those with a grain of salt. It's probably accurate, but also probably a hallucination. And also LinkedIn's not using hashtags anymore, I believe. They're moving away from that. So, okay. Um, how to engage with them, how to identify them, behaviors outside of LinkedIn. That's cool. Um, potential barriers to engagement. Okay, those are good too. Anything that you have questions about this, you can literally ask, right? If you don't understand how to reach out to them because they're limited schedule, then you can ask, how do I overcome that? And it's going to tell you. So any questions that arise as you're going through this, just prompt it again. It's not going to break. And if it breaks or you want to go back, you can just do something like this. You scroll up to the top where you wrote the prompt, and you just hit this button and rewrite the question. It'll give you a whole new output. Or you can just type a new answer down below and, not a big deal. How should my profile look like to attract the right buyers? This is a great question. So that means, how should you brand your profile to attract these people? What kind of banners you should put up, all that kind of stuff. We have a few more left. Just a few more prompts left. All right. In this scenario, this is going way too fast. In this scenario, I said, how should my profile look like to attract the right buyers? And here it's saying, okay, some of these things we already know, right? But some of these things we might have not thought about. So, for example, your tagline should be something like this. Your visuals should be something like this. Your value proposition could be something like this. Doesn't have to be the exact one. Keywords to include would be these. Right, and then you can see here, this is like some tips for the about section, and all this. So this is specifically to brand your LinkedIn. You can ask it for other platforms like Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, whatever platform you decide to choose, Twitter, X, whatever. You can just prompt it to do that. But right now we're just going through the exercise. It's a lot to consume. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit the next prompt. What predictable buying behaviors does my ICP have to increase my sales? And now it's going to think about it. So as it thinks and as it generates this, I'm just going to take a moment to share. All of the information that has been shared so far is very insightful, is very in-depth, and is very crucial. If you're trying to understand your buyer better, if you're trying to understand how to position yourself and what to look for on social media when you're getting ready to do strategies like sell by chat, or maybe you call it DM appointment setting, or whatever the case is. And if you're creating a lot of content for these types of people, then this also will give you even way better, more insightful ideas. Now, in this one, I asked, what predictable buying behaviors does my ICP have to increase my sales? And here it's telling you what kind of stuff that they already like to look for. And you can definitely get more specific with it, right? If this looks a little too generic, you can ask it to be more specific. And let's try that really quick. Okay, while it generates that, let's just keep reading what else it wrote. Peer influence and community engagement, budget conscious with ROI focus, risk averse but growth oriented. Here's how to leverage. So yeah, it gives you a lot of different ideas here. And now let's go down. I said be more specific. Here you go. So specific research areas of your ICP. Understanding AI applications, customer experience enhancement, sales and marketing automation. So, as you can see, this previous prompt, it was, what predictable buying behaviors does my ICP have to increase my sales? And some of it was a little generic, right? It was saying, oh, they're doing webinars, they're doing research, they're joining Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, they're looking at influencers, they're reading white papers. So I said, well, that's too generic, right? So here my next prompt was, be more specific. What research are they doing, right? What kind of white papers or whatever? What are they actually looking into? And now you have a way better understanding of what your ideal client is currently searching. Now, this next question, one second. This one I'm pretty much asking, I'm not sure what's going on in my video here, but in this person, I'm just going to say, does this person look like my ICP's LinkedIn profile? I'm just going to copy my bio, just for the purposes of this example. And as it's doing that, I'm going to grab the next section here. So right now it's just thinking if I am the perfect ICP or not. And it says yes or no. See, not a match. And then here it tells you why not. So if you are like prospecting on social media, this whole thread is powerful for that because it's identifying, let's just recap really quick. It's identifying who your ICP is to a very, very detailed. It's then identifying what pain points you can typically see from their content or their activity online. Then it's asking what lead magnets you can create so you can break the ice and deliver value. Then it's asking, what do they look like? and what you should look like in terms of branding and content and all of that to attract the right people. Then it's giving you insights on buying behaviors, and now here it's you're just doing a check. Does this person look like my ideal client? And if it does, let's just pretend that it does, right? You can ask this, how can I break the ice with this person? Ask a thought-provoking question that doesn't sound salesy. It should be 1 to 2 sentences max. And this is something that you could send to break the ice. You're not pitching anything, you're not telling them to buy your product, you're not sending them a whole essay on how great your offer is or how much they are not performing well in the market because they don't have X, Y, and Z. You can just literally ask a thought provoking question that's going to make them want to respond and initiate a conversation with you. Um, right? So that's what this is all about. And then, if you want to, you can grab this, you can paste this over here. This is the copy on my landing page. Would this be appealing? I'm just going to copy our bootcamp landing page as an example. And I'll grab that, put that here. And while that's doing that, I believe that is all. So let me just go ahead and grab this link here. So this is how you can get a little bit more predictable. Okay, cool. So now here I just dropped my whole entire landing page in here, and here it's saying assessment of your landing page. Here it's saying why it does, why it doesn't. Again, this is not a real example, right? I just use my stuff against this ICP that is probably not the right match. But here it's telling you, you're here. Okay, here it's telling you the copy emphasizes these things. Your current ICP is this. Does the landing page appeal to the ICP? Nope, right? Because the offer in the very, very top is not what my landing page represents. That's not our offer. There is a mismatch in target audience. And now here you can prompt it a million times more, asking it, how can I fix the copy? Or here it actually does. Example of revised landing page. If it doesn't give you the example, you can just ask it, what would I need to do to fix the copy? And if it just gives you tips, you just say, show me the final version after you implement these tips. Sometimes it'll show you tips of how you need to improve, but we don't really want to have to do that work. So we would, if it gives you tips, just prompt it again and ask it for the final copy. And then yeah, there you have it. So these are some steps that you can go through step by step in sequential order to find, um, not just to find, but to turn all of your efforts on social media, on your funnels, on your landing page, on your content, on your lead magnets, to really just optimize them for increased conversions based on your buyer ideal client profiles and their buying behaviors. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments or wherever you're watching this video. And if you found this helpful and you'd like to see more breakdowns like this, also let me know. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, share, all the fun stuff. All right. I'll see you in the next video.